I'm excited to be sitting here with Cindy Knight. The name of her company is Girl Friday. And Cindy, I'm just going to let you introduce yourself and introduce your company.
Sure. My name is Cindy Knight. My company is Girl Friday. We are a personal assistant service. We're located in South Pasadena and we serve the greater Los Angeles area. So we do all kinds of assisting to all kinds of people. It can be anything from babysitting to house sitting to pet sitting. We work a lot with realtors. We work a lot with small businesses and with busy families and moms.
So my first question is, what inspired you to do this type of business?
I think mostly myself, because when I launched the company, it's been 9 years, I had smaller children. And, in talking with friends, it was like, God, I wish I had a wife, or I wish I had somebody to help me. And I think in Los Angeles, a lot of us have left our families, our birth families behind and come out here. And so we don't have that usual circle of support where you'd call your sister or call your mom. So we all heavily relied on each other. But then the conversation was, well, what if you could have somebody else, from outside help you out? And that's kind of how it was born. It was really designed for busy moms who just need another hand.
When you started doing this, what did you struggle with the most? And then what did you find came really easy?
Probably the most was, we didn't know if it was going to work. So we really didn't put, we didn't have a business plan. We didn't have any kind of loan. We literally made up flyers and we went to school and we handed them out to people and we talked to all of our friends. So it was very organic, very grassroots. And it did work. So here we are 9 years later. But it's so much fun. And, the great part of it is I even have other mom friends who work with me. And moms are the greatest because we know how to do everything. We know how to multitask. We've moved 100 million times in our lives. We've cleaned every kitchen. So they are kind of the heart of the business because I can put them in any situation and they take care of it.
So walk me through what it looks like behind the scenes, because you offer an array of different services.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me about a time where someone needed a services and you guys you kind of had to really dig deep to figure out how to put the service together to help this particular person.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have 150 freelancers who work with us. So often, because we have so many people, that resource is right there. And that's my job. And that's what I'm good at, is getting the information from the client and processing all that, and then going through and figuring out who the best fit is for them. And often they'll say, this is what I need, but it's actually maybe 2 or 3 different people that they need. So that's what I do, is comb through all of that, set them up with the service, dispatch the assistant, and then see it through to the end.
So you have 150 different freelancers.
Mm-hmm.
Couple questions. How do you screen them? And how do you find them? Then what's your most unique freelance service?
We do screen everybody. I meet with everyone personally. And we do background check them, and they are vetted. A lot of the people that work with me, I know them. So they're old friends. There's a lot of moms out there who are, went to college, have a degree, had their families, took time off from work, and then decided, I don't want to go back to work full time. But I want to do something. So those people end up coming to work for us. So a lot of people come to us already well qualified, but we still go through the screening process. And then, like with a lot of our babysitters, those are the children of the parents that I know. So they're really pre-screened because I've known them since they were in preschool. And if they did anything bad, yes, I would already know about it. But they're awesome kids, and I feel so comfortable with them because I've known them forever. I would say the weirdest, hardest job that I ended up doing myself, because I just couldn't even process who was going to do it, was with a client who called me on a Saturday morning, just extremely panicked because her cat put a dead rat on her daughter's bed as the welcome home from college present. And she's terrified of rats. She hates any kind of, rodents. No, who loves them? I mean, nobody. So I was walking into the gym when she called me, and I was trying to think like, who is going to do that? And I just thought, I said, you know what, get some kitchen rubber gloves. I'll be there in an hour. And I just went in and I picked it up and I put it in a trash bag and I walked out. So there are a lot of weird little things like that happen. And in that case, because it needed to happen so quickly, and I was literally 5 doors down from her house, I just said, well, I'll take care of it myself.
That's that. Okay. I think that gets the top for most unique service. We don't need to do that every single day, but if there's a rat in my house, I know who I can call now.
Give us a call. Yeah.
Kind of give me an overview of the different types of services that you'll do. I know there's a lot,
Sure.
but I mean, kind of what are some of the regular services? And then what are some things that people go, oh, I didn't know that I could call and have someone do that?
Yeah. I would say starting with babysitting, with the high school, they're also really tech savvy. So sometimes we work with seniors who don't know how to Zoom, or they don't know how to get on their iPad, or they'll call and say, my screen is blank. We have these great kids who, they grew up with technology, so they're really familiar with it. So we can dispatch them. And then we have higher level tech people who are a little more seasoned. The kids also do a lot of tutoring. And during this whole COVID time, we have a lot of kids who are kind of tutors / babysitting. So they're sitting with the kids during Zoom so that mom and dad can work. And then they stay and they help them with their homework, and it turns into babysitting. So that's sort of become a unique skill during COVID. But we do all of those things separately under normal circumstances. And then with the moms we work with, it's a lot of just being those second hands. Like when people are moving and they're also trying to work and they have children, we will come in and we will pack everything for them. We bring all the packing materials with us. We can arrange for the movers. We can arrange for utilities on the other end in their new house. And then we can meet them at their new house and help them unpack. So that's a big one that we do quite a lot when someone passes away or when someone moves. And we have guys with trucks who come and take everything away, and they'll take it to the dump or they'll take it to a donation center. And then I even have people who are older and retired who are very vital and they still want to work. So they do a lot of dog walking and they do a lot of transporting kids around. We pick kids up from school, we take them to soccer, and then, mom will meet us at soccer or meet us at home.
So it sounds like everything, because you said it earlier, but what it really sounds like is everything that a mom does, because the mom is running the errands, the mom is
Yep.
sweeping up the rodent, so to speak. And not many moms have rodents, let's be clear there.
Yes, let's be clear.
Let's hope not. And and just running things and maintaining things. Do you come into the house and ever just do any kind of home maintenance where it's like mom's just overwhelmed and it's like, dad travels or mom travels and there's light bulbs and there's, just the stuff that keeps the home running. You guys will do that?
Yeah, we have a handyman crew and they're excellent. And they can do very simple things from, tightening a doorknob and changing a light bulb to custom building a fence or cabinets. We do a lot of garage clear outs where we just take everything out, categorize it into piles, and then the handyman can come in and build shelving. And we have an organizer. We have several organizers who work with us, and they'll plan out, an entire interior of the garage. And then we put everything back in and it's organized.
How long did it take you to build your list of all these different people?
It was really born, of the clients, because we did have a very small list at first. And then people started saying, well, what about this? What about that? So I reached out to my network, and just over time, even within the first 6 or 8 months, people were asking us for things that we hadn't really considered, like the handyman.
Right.
And a lot of the people that work with me, they've worked in my house. So all the handymen have done work for me personally. And that's another way that I vet them. Most of the cleaning ladies have worked in my house. So that way I can see how they do and I can give them feedback. And like I said, a lot of the other people that work for me, I've known them forever. So
the people that come in that, because of COVID, what kind of impact, what did you have to start doing differently, or did you have to do anything differently because of COVID and all of the rules and restrictions and all of that?
Yeah, yeah, we're still continuing to wear masks, obviously, anytime we're inside with anyone. And we ask our clients to do the same. Some clients will ask us for proof of a negative COVID test. We're happy to provide that. Sometimes the client will ask us to meet with them outside or to work on a project that's outside. That's fine too. We've been really concerned about that just for our own safety, but for the people that we're going in. And we did, we are very busy right now, but we did lose some of our regular jobs. For example, dog walking. We had so many clients, we'd walk their dogs because they were at work. Well, now everybody's at home. So
That's their new
they don't need that.
exercise is walking the dog.
Exactly. Yeah. They're there. So there's no reason to, pay us to do that. But things like that, or some of the jobs where we were going in regularly and being almost like a house manager where we're just kind of handling things that go on at home. Some of those clients have chosen not to have us come in during COVID. So I think those things will come back. But yeah, in the meantime, we've, like I was saying, with the babysitters who morph into tutors, and that's definitely new. And we're doing a lot of grocery shopping because people don't want to be in the stores. And we've always done that, but we're doing it a lot more.
Is there, I was going to say, was there any kind of unique business that morphed out of COVID? Because what I'm hearing from a lot of the businesses that I'm talking to is they had, they were going down one path for their business. And because of COVID, it threw them into a totally different path that actually helped their business grow during this time instead of losing business. Yeah. Is there any part of your business that you see growing because you've had to learn how to do things differently?
That's a good question. I think, the thing that we're good about is being flexible and customizing services. So even though we have this long list of what we do, anyone can call us anytime. And even if they don't see that particular service listed on the website, I'm really good at finding it. So even if it ends up being something that I personally can't provide, I am happy to spend time looking for it for that person. So every call that comes in is different, and every service that we send out is a little different. So it's really all about kind of meeting the client where they're at and customizing the service. So yeah, we've been doing that a lot during COVID. It's really a lot of the same things, but it's just a little bit different because of, wearing masks and maybe not being at their home for as many hours. It might be a shorter shift just to keep exposure down for everybody. Or like I was saying, being outside. So yeah, we're very adaptable and flexible, and COVID has definitely tested all of those capabilities.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have because we love all of our clients, we love working with everybody, but is there any one person or one type of job that stands out and you say, gosh, we really just have so much fun doing this?
Yeah, well, we love working with other moms because we totally get it. Most of us are there ourselves, and they love having us come in because it's more like having a friend with them. So it's a lot of busy moms who just can't do things like, oh, my closet is completely disorganized. I can't find anything. We'll have our organizer come in. We also have a stylist who works with us. She can put together outfits to make things easier. And then we can organize in their kitchen. We have during COVID put in, developed new little office spaces within homes for people.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, you're home now and it's like, I don't have an office. I'm at my table. I need space. So we have a great interiors person who can help figure out, the best spot for that. And they'll order all the furniture and make it look cute and comfortable and functional. So
that's fun because you go in so many houses and you just see the kids are at the table, the parents are, and it's just and I would think that type of service would actually bring some calm back into the house.
It definitely does. And working with our tech guys too to extend Wi-Fi throughout the house has been another really popular service, because now many families have 4 or 5 people online at once. and one person is, out in the garage, and someone's at the dining room table, and the kids are over here. So we've done that a lot. And that's really the goal, is to kind of get in there and make anything that's happening in their house function better, and in a way that works for them.
As the kids start to go back to school, because there's a lot of chatter about the kids going back to school, does that free up your moms for more time so that you can take on more clients? Or does that change, make a different dynamic, because now they're trying to get their kids coming and going?
Yeah, it will change it on both sides, on the client side and on our side. A lot of the assistants that work with us right now, because they have children, they're choosing not to work until those kids get back in school, because for them, there's no relief. They can't leave them with anybody. So yeah, I think it will continue to evolve. In the beginning of COVID, it was like, okay, what's happening today? What's happening today? And now I feel like, we're in a rhythm. We all know what's going to happen today. And, but it's hard to even think ahead to September. Hopefully by then we're all vaccinated and back to reality, but it just depends.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2, and they're older. They're 16 and 20. So they've seen more of me than they would ever care to. I personally love having them here, but I know for them it's been really tough, because their whole lives pretty much existed outside of this house, and
especially at that age. So it's been tough for them. Have they done any of the work for you?
Oh yeah, they both have worked for me for years. Yeah,
Oh,
they love doing the pet sitting. My son has washed cars. He has helped me organize some, paperwork. My daughter loves pet sitting as well, and gardening. We've watered people's gardens when they're out of town. So yeah, they have been trained. It's great.
How do you get the word out about your business?
It's very grassroots. We don't usually advertise. It's a lot of word of mouth, a lot of referral. And we're very active on social media. So we try to talk a lot about what we're doing, and show that, and kind of introduce the people that work with us, so that our clients can get to know them.
And is it just your one business in South Pasadena, or do you have multiple businesses? Is like, how far will you go? Because I know you say South Pasadena on where I always go to.
Yes. We will go anywhere in Los Angeles. We serve the greater Los Angeles area. And, we go into the Valley. We're going down to San Pedro next week. We do travel. And then we have a small group now in New York City, and a small group in Seattle, and another small group in Olympia, Washington, which will be coming in the next month.
Wow. So even through all of this, you're just expanding what you're doing.
Yeah, some of that happened very kind of organically. Again, I hired someone here right before COVID hit. Once COVID came, she said, I'm out of here. I'm going back to Seattle. And I said, I don't blame you. And she was so disappointed, and I loved her, and I really, really wanted her to work for us. So I said, well, why don't you try to, do this in Seattle? So she's up there doing that. And we have a couple other people who've joined her. And same thing in New York. We had a client who was from LA, moved to New York, came back out here. We worked with him. He was a realtor also, clearing out a storage unit. And as he was leaving and driving to the airport, he called me and said, I really love your girls. I need you in New York. And I was like, okay, I'll find you someone. And I did. And that's how that started. So, it's all sort of it is part of the greater plan, because we'd love to be everywhere. We get calls from people in Canada and in Virginia. Someone called me from Nashville last week. And I wish we were there, because I would love to help them. So the greater goal is to be everywhere, because it's so needed. People are way overscheduled, way too busy. It's just a hectic life. So,
and it's hard to go through, and it's like you'll go on Facebook and somebody will say, I need a cleaning lady, I need a gardener, I need this, and everybody's throwing out their recommendations.
Yeah.
And you have no idea who's good, who's bad. And to me, it sounds like you're that middle person that just says, okay, stop spending your time doing it.
Yes.
I've got them. And if I don't have them, I'll find them and I'll vet them, and then I'll send them to you.
That's exactly right. Yes. And I even sometimes have had clients go on Facebook and post something like, looking for, like what you said, looking for a gardener. And I just type in, hello, call me. I gotcha. Don't worry about it. But sometimes they forget, that
Right.
because they use us for just one thing. So they get very accustomed to that. And then they just forget that, oh yeah, I can ask them for anything. So I sort of train them to just come back to me. I'll figure it out for you.
Do you ever have clients where they just need someone that comes to their house for a couple hours a day? They're not quite sure what they need, but it's like, I need you to, go through and open all my bills for me, or
Mhm.
I just, just random stuff where you
Yep,
just, and the client just tells them on spot what they need them to do.
absolutely. Yes, we do
And
that a lot.
And how do you, but what's kind of the structure? Because I don't want to get too much into pay because there's so many variables. But
Yeah.
if somebody wanted something like that, where they're just going to use them for a couple of hours, and it's like every Monday and Friday, I've got this person that comes for 2 hours, and I just tell them what I need done. What kind of structure is that just to get an idea of pay or rate?
Sure. Yeah, we do have a 2 hour minimum for most of our services, just, to make it worth everybody's time. And the base rate for assistance is $20 per hour. And that's usually a younger, maybe a college age person. And then it goes up to 26. And that's really kind of the moms and the people who are a little more experienced. So it kind of depends on what that client is saying in terms of the things that that person might be doing. If it's a little bit more skilled, like, I need somebody who knows their way around a kitchen and can help me figure out where to put things, that's going to be a mom. If it's somebody who just needs, file these papers, move this over here, we can send a college student. But that's a big part of what I do, is just assess carefully what they need and try to hook them up with the best person.
That's exciting because it doesn't sound like it's ever the same.
It's never the same. I never really know
Yeah.
what's going to happen from day to day, but it's
And
fun.
that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean,
It's
it's
no,
nice to have it
it's
changing
not.
and it's challenging. And it's
Yeah.
exciting to know that your business is growing.
Yeah, it's really exciting for us. And, it's really what I love to do. So I wish I could be in 20 places at once, but
What did you do before you had this idea 9 years ago?
I actually had a different business. It was called Cindy Knight Creative Services. So I worked with different companies on all their creative needs. So everything from designing a logo to a brochure, to a photo shoot, to copywriting. And it was the same exact model where the client would come to me, I would hire everybody and just project manage it from start to finish. It's the
Okay.
same model as Girl Friday, but I did that for 10 years. And that was super fun too. And, same
Right.
kind of thing, like you never really know what's going to happen. But, and we do have some small businesses we work with now who need those same services. And I still have all my people from before. So, I'm still doing that a little bit.
So organizing and taking care of and finding the right people to fit them all together, that just seems to be a talent that you have.
Yes, and it's what I really like to do. So, my background is in social work, and I feel like with Girl Friday, I've kind of come full circle because that's what it ends up being. It's really assessing needs and then putting the right pieces in place to help people just live an easier life. I think out here too, it's so crazy. Traffic is crazy. Kids are really overscheduled. We're all overscheduled. And suddenly it's like, oh, it's 5 o'clock and the day is over. So we get a lot of satisfaction out of just helping people have a more manageable life.
Is there anything, because I've asked you a lot of questions, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you think, I wish people really knew this about my business?
Yeah, I would say just that because of our flexibility and because of my capabilities and my outreach, and because I've been doing this, now for 9 years, and I've been in South Pasadena for a long time, just ask us. It doesn't hurt to ask us because, again, if I don't have it, I'll find it for you. I love the quest. I love finding, and I know so many people now that if I don't know, I know one of those people that I know will have the answer. Match
And
them
I
up
think
and
the quest takes so much time for us because
Mhm.
we're Googling and
Right.
calling and I love that because there's so many things you said you have available, and I love the fact if we don't see it on your website if you haven't spoken about it, that if we just call you, the odds are probably 99.9% that you're going to be able to find somebody to do it. And then you're going
Yes.
to take care of, and I love the fact that you're taking care of the vetting to know that they're good.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely do. And, you know, the other population we work with a lot is senior citizens, and they're a very kind of marginalized, fallen through the crack
Completely.
population. And for a lot of moms, you know, we're the sandwich generation. So we're taking care of kids, taking care of parents at the same time, and they're very overwhelmed. So if we can kind of take on their parent and get somebody in there, you know, sometimes we go in, it's almost a lot of companionship,
Mhm.
because that adult child is working. You know, they would love to stop by and visit mom, but they just can't do that in the middle of the workday. So we will hang out with them. We'll go to the grocery store with them. We take them to the doctor. You know, we can even sit in the appointment with them and take extensive notes, relay those back to the family. A lot of these seniors don't have family around them. So, you know, we can step in and kind of help navigate if they're going into assisted living. We have great communities we work with. We have great home care people we work with. So, you know, I love doing that as well, because that was my very first social work job, was working with retired union members. So
Oh,
I love
that's
that
exciting.
population. Yeah.
That's exciting. Very, very nice. Well, listen, I've taken up so much of your time today, and I know that you do great services and great communication for sure. Because my first experience with you was absolutely spot on perfect. I will
I'm
say
so
that.
glad. Thank you.
And so easy to communicate with. So I hope everyone gives you a call and asks you to do some crazy thing. And
We love
maybe
the crazy.
I'm stuck on the rat thing. I'm like,
Oh man,
okay,
there've been a lot of little things like that, that it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, well, we
okay,
do it. We'll do
okay.
it. Well,
um,
thank you. I love talking to you.
it was great. One last time, contact information.
Oh, yes, our website is Girl Friday, SOPAS.com, Girl Friday Sopas, or email, and we're on Instagram and Facebook, and call and text is great for me. 626-221-5111 is my main line, and you can text or call that number Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And I do respond on weekends if it's an emergency.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on our little interview about inspiring small business stories. And
Thank
I'll
you.
have it up and I'll send you the link and then everybody can listen to it. And I hope that people use it as getting inspired to start their business and also getting inspired to trust other small businesses and use each other. I really hope
Yes.
so.
Yes. A lot of the businesses we contract with are just like us. They're small businesses, and we love that. So,
I have a question for you
yes.
before I always have one more question. So, kind of putting you on the spot, and this one might be difficult for you.
Okay.
Um, a lot of the people I'm talking to, I'm asking them to refer to other small businesses, either give
Hmm.
a shout out to them or someone you think would be a great fit to sit down and do an interview with. Does
Hmm.
anybody come to mind for you?
Oh, yeah. I can give you tons of names.
Well,
Yeah,
we don't
for
want to take away from your business model, but two people you think that would be just an inspiring story.
oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I know everyone from, you know, a beekeeper who's a writer who started taking care of bees and making honey, to someone who's opened an interior design business in South Pasadena and expanded it to Virginia and goes back and forth. She's amazing. You know,
So
psychologists, people in mental health who have
who's
great
the
services.
who's the beekeeper? What's his
His
name?
name is David Bach, and he's actually my former roommate from the University of Wisconsin, one of many, many roommates. We both ended up out here, and he's a writer. And like I said, he started his beekeeping business. So we love promoting him. Um,
Fantastic. Um, the interior designer and the psychologist.
Interior designer is Amy Peltier. She's on mission in South Pasadena. So she flies back and forth, and has another place in Virginia, but she does absolutely beautiful work. She is one of our main go-tos. And the psychologist, I know so many. And again, like I know so many, and I know a lot of coaches too, about a lot of business coaches. So I always try to tailor it to, what that person needs, because every coach is different and every doctor is different.
Okay, give me one that is good at handling stress, because I kind of think that that's what's affecting so many people right now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Probably the great thing about coaches right now too is that they're all doing stuff virtually, so they can be anywhere.
Right.
There's Sheila Storer, who is in Seattle. She's amazing, and very easy to contact because now we have Zoom.
Right.
Taryn Sterry is another coach. She's in Maine. Love her. And there are several here who are local. I'm on the spot because my brain is trying to catch up to the question, but
I can totally
give you
on the spot with that. Exactly.
No, that's okay. There's so many. I mean,
yeah.
My brain is flooded with them, and we know psychologists who work with children who have learning difficulties, and she's super amazing, and she has so many resources. So, for example, if a client calls me about that, I don't have anyone on my staff who does that, but she does, and she's my go-to, and she's so credible. Her name's Dr. Karen Wilson. I send everybody to her, and she takes great care of them.
See, that's the new thing we just learned about your business. If you don't have it, you've got this other network of people that you refer to.
Yes, and they're all, they all have my stamp of approval, because I'm pretty picky about who I work with and who I hire. Because I'm sensitive to the fact that we are doing something very personal by the nature of what we do. And we're in people's homes. We have clients who give us their house keys. I mean, that's like such an honor, and it's, amazing.
A lot of responsibility.
It is.
When they do that. Now I'm going to officially let you go.
I could talk to you all day.
Thank you. Right? We could just chit chat and pretend nothing else has to go on. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye.